Hi folks, welcome to Pepe Learning. In this video, you are going to learn about one of the built-in functional interface named Supplier. We know the definition of a functional interface. When an interface got one and only one abstract method with any number of static or default methods, we can call it as functional interface. Supplier is one of the core built-in functional interface. It got a method named get. It will not take any parameter but return a value. As the name suggests, it will supply information. Supplier will use generic return type. Let us see a program and review it again. I have opened an Eclipse workspace which got a project called Java 8. Now I'm going to create a class under a package called com.pp.j8 for java 8.fun.interfaces. I right click on this package, new class, supplier demo. I choose public static void main, say finish. Now I would like to create an interface in the same source file and I would like to use it. Then I would like to compare it with the built-in functional interface named Supplier. So I would like to create an interface here. I would like to name it as show date, and which got a method named current date, which doesn't take any input but return a string value. As this is a functional interface, I would like to mention functional interface annotation for this interface. Now I would like to use this in the supplier demo class. For that, I go and create a reference for show date, which is, let's say, date lambda, and I would like to provide the syntax for lambda, so which is parenthesis, separator, and flower braces, which is a implementation. Now it doesn't take any input, that's absolutely fine, but the return type is string. For that, I would like to give it as return. I'm going to use Java 8 datetime API, so I call it as local date dot now dot toString. Now I'm ready with my lambda, so when I call this lambda, which is date lambda dot current date, which is going to return me a string, I would like to capture the string into a name called today, and I would like to print this out, today's date, which is plus today. So when I execute this program by right clicking run as Java application, you can see the output as today's date 2018 to 21. Now let me have the same functionality without using this custom functional interface. Say I would like to create a lambda expression with supplier. You can see here supplier is from java.util.function package, and which takes a parameter. Now the return type which you are expecting is string, so the parameter which you are passing is the generic parameter which you are passing is string. I can say here as supplier lambda, and here is the implementation. So here it is not having any parameters, that means it doesn't take any parameter but it returns a string value. So I go and mention return, and I would like to use the same thing which I used for the built-in lambda expression. So I'm done with my supplier lambda, and I would like to call this specific method. For that, I call it as supplier lambda dot. This time the method which we use is get. This will return me a string, and let me capture this in a variable called present day equal to, and I would like to say sysout, which is today's date. So today's date plus present day, which I'm used in the above line. When I execute this program, you can see the outputs which is similar. The first one is coming from custom functional interface named showDate, and the other one is coming from Supplier, which is a built-in interface. Now both is displaying the same values. Ideally, you need not to create any of the custom functional interface on your own, and as you are using Supplier, which use generics, which can take any type of input, which can return any type of output. So let's go and see the dissect of Supplier. I right click on the interface package, new class Supplier dissect. So I use public static void main, and here first I would like to use Supplier without generics. So I create here as Supplier, and I take out the generics here. I mention object Supplier and equal to new. Here I'm ideally creating an anonymous inner class, and here you need to take out this parameter which is generics and have to implement unimplemented methods. I click on add unimplemented methods. Now you can see here the return type is object. It doesn't take any parameter. The method name is get and the return type is object, and it doesn't take any parameter. Let us see this one in a specific one. So I go for Supplier, and this time I would like to use string return type. For that, specific Supplier equal to new Supplier, which is anonymous inner class, and I double click on it. You can see it. We need to implement unimplemented methods. I just take a help of tool. I click on add unimplemented methods. Now you can see the return type is string, because we mentioned the return type as string. It is taking string, but whereas in the first case it is return type is object, because we are not choosing any of the specific return type. So this is how Supplier works. Now Supplier is a built-in functional interface which got a method called get, which doesn't take any parameter but returns a value. This uses generics. Few of the real-time examples we can think of is, let's say, get all the departments. So when you want to get all the departments, you need not to pass any information. So that means it is not accepting any parameter. And let's say I want to have a timestamp for a specific order. So I can go and get a timestamp where it doesn't take any input, but it takes a system time and give it back to us. Thanks for watching.